I think we're live on the streams, Joe. So we're back. We apologize. Hopefully, everybody that had found us refinds us right now on the streams. But sometimes when you deal with technology, as they
Yeah,
say, it happens. So anyway, but
yeah,
go ahead, buddy. So all those sports, but let's get to the horse racing because now we are 14 minutes behind, and you got a full slate of
that,
winners to give out.
that's fine. I thought that we were having a what was that? What's that name you give? The Totally Broken Sports Network?
Yes, the Totally Broken Sports Network. That was us, TBSN.
Yeah, that seemed like a TBSN moment there, but I thought I would mention that because that's AJ that came up with that slogan, not me. So send your hate email to AJ Johnson.
Don't initiate the conversation and then back out of it, buddy. You brought it up, not me.
Well, you were the one that brought up the new acronym, so. All right, you can
Exactly.
send me some, and I'll just forward it to AJ. But anyways, I thought we would do a little fun exercise here, along with the Preakness here, since the races are starting at 10:30 this morning, and the first race will be going off right at the middle of our show. I thought we would do some live wagering on the first race, which is a 5 furlong race. Now, as we were prepping for the show, last minute prep, we were ready to go, and AJ saying, you know, "Eh, thanks for the horrible race we're picking because it's on the turf and all that." Well, all the plans that we had, me about 5 minutes, AJ about maybe six, were I still had the Pimlico feed playing on my other computer, and they're off the turf here. So we're going to be handicapping on the fly because what we had thought we're going to play is not what we're going to play probably. And I know that with me using whatever the ADW that I use, I was able to cancel my pick that was for the turf and went with a horse that I think is going to win on the dirt. So, and the the main track right now is good. You can tell that rain is hit the Baltimore area, it hit overnight, and I would say expect muddy to sloppy for the Preakness today. But before we get to that race, let's go through the first race here. And AJ, do you have any initial thoughts on the opener at Pimlico?
I am going to take the
Oh,
fifth on this one.
oh. And I'm wondering why my earphones aren't working. I don't have myself plugged in.
Oh, there you go. See that? Is I are you good now? You were clicking again too, but you stopped. I was gonna say plead the fifth, but I'm gonna take the fifth. I'm just gonna get straight to it. I'm gonna take the fifth.
So you're
Unless it's scratched. Is he scratched? The seven
uh,
horse?
the seven is scratched. He was scratched beforehand before
Damn
they did
it.
the turf exchange. The
All
seven and the
right.
nine are both right. I should have said that ahead of time.
That's all right. I don't know, man. I hate these races. When I go to the track, wait, hold on a minute. What is this race? This is a maiden race, right?
Yeah, for 3 to 5 year olds.
So what's the story with the one? The one actually, disqualified. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm sorry. The two, is the two in Lady Dance?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Lady Dance because Lady Dance has already tasted victory and then had it snatched away from him or her. Um, I don't know why. It just says disqualified from purse money. Something happened. So this horse got it done once. Why can't it do it done again? And it got it done. It was on the turf. What is SF for turf?
Soft.
Soft firm? Is that what it means? Or
Soft
just
turf.
soft? Okay, soft turf. I don't know. What the hell? I'm going with the two, Lady Dance. I pulled it out of my rear end. I don't like these maiden races. I don't have the slightest idea what.
Yeah.
No one knows what's gonna.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Lieutenant General. Let me see. Yeah, Carlos. Oh no, Beltane. All right. No sense. No sense. Yeah, why not? The two, Lady Dance. Lock it in. Go to Caesars right now. They'll give you $1,000 back if it loses. So bet $1,000 on Lady Dance.
Well,
No, I wouldn't do that. But
actually, they have a different promotion for horse racing.
oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, and if you use the code, if you put in $150, you'll get $150 for free just for signing up.
Okay.
Me,
Cool.
I opened an account yesterday, but because I screwed it up, I do not get the 150. So give me one of those. I won't. But um, yeah, I know. So um, so when I'm looking at this race here, now I was playing that this was on the turf, and thankfully I had the sound up as we were doing our final preps. I was originally falling to the 3 Sig because I was trying to beat the favorite, which is the one Irish Heartbeat. And the morning lines, you can just throw them out the window because it was on the notion that this would be on the turf.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now, to, I mean, with that one, if it was on the turf, you could have tossed that race, but I'm tossing him because he hasn't run on the dirt. Um, I am going to go with a horse that's coming back after a race on the a race at Delaware last June. Now I know 11 months. That's something probably went wrong here with the horse. They went wrong with the horse after that race in training, getting ready for a second race, which never happened. I am going with Master of Malice here. Showed some good speed there, but he chased Give It a Whirl, who not only won that race, but if you look at the race results there, Give It a Whirl is in italics, and that means that that horse won its next race, whenever that was. Um, that horse comes back. Sometimes I look at connections when there is a race like this, and this is going to stay in the family because Sheldon Russell is riding for his wife Brittany on this horse, and I had to be careful with my words there because some people may turn into perverts, but
Hmm.
um, I think that maybe the horse needed to grow up a little bit as well. Maybe there was some sort of an issue there as well. But I'm going to go with the 4 Master of Malice in this race, and also with the wet weather, there is curling in those bloodlines as the grandsire here. So, and I'm a fan of I'm a fan of a horse who runs. I'm a fan of curling horses running on off main track. So I'm going to go with the 4 here, Master of Malice. That's my pick here in the first race here at Pimlico.
All right. Who did I pick?
You picked the 2.
Lady. All right. So I might as well, since I'm sitting here, put something on it so that this is actually so that we're legit and we're not just we're not faking it like people on the Totally Broken Sports Network used to do. They don't fake it anymore though, because the Totally Broken Sports Network literally it just broke.
Mm-hmm.
It just broke, and I don't even think it exists anymore. So I'm gonna take. I'm not gonna go heavy. I'm gonna take a $10 bill. The horse is 27-1. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
27-1. Is there a way? Is it legal? Is there a stream that we can show this race right on the right on our show here this morning, or is that going to get us in a lot of trouble?
It may get us into trouble.
Well, we're already suspended on. Yes, we've turned into the Totally Broken Sports people. We're currently under Instagram suspension until Monday on our
For
main. I don't even know. It was a video of Scotty Scheffler. It was pre yesterday. It was from the day before. Just the chip shot that he made. I don't know. Whatever. They don't. Nonsense.
well,
But
Tiger Woods, from what I hear, did bail Scotty Scheffler out at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday.
oh, really?
Well, you know how Tiger Woods had that run in, and that mugshot. I should
Yeah.
have worn that mugshot T-shirt I have. I should have worn that today instead of yesterday. But
Yeah, we need to get to the point where we have someone around the clock looking at stuff like this so we can immediately drop merch like the Free Scotty merch that came out instantly. Barstool is fantastic at that. I mean, they put stuff out there the second that it happens.
and one thing I did see, and I did not repost it or retweet it. Somebody had Scotty Scheffler in a Ricky Fowler type all orange jumpsuit.
Mm. All right, hey, so let me ask this.
Okay.
On FanDuel, which I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of our friends. No, I don't love them all, and that's why I don't talk about some of them that much. But FanDuel I love, and I'm using the FanDuel Sportsbook because I can use it here in Florida. Not the Sportsbook, the race book, which I can use in Florida. Now I got my bet in on FanDuel. Right now, this is why I love FanDuel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Bet the Preakness, get a no sweat bet, $20 back. So basically, I'm going to get a $20 bet for free on the Preakness today,
Mm-hmm.
which is a no sweat bet. They'll give it back to you if you lose. What else do they have today? Bet Racing 101, get up to speed on horse racing. We have that also. They got a lot of good stuff on FanDuel here that we should implement in our sort of thing here. But the question that I was going to ask is this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, watch FanDuel TV. I guess I just push this button. And now I'm going to be able to see I got the race here in the corner. Look at that. Oh, this is dynamite. This is what I had a meeting yesterday. Very short, but it's initial of I'm sure you've seen FanDuel TV on TV, the basketball game, hockey game, whatever. They're sitting there.
Wait,
We
you had a meeting with Vern Troyer?
furniture. Mini me?
You said you had a short meeting?
Oh, short meeting. Yeah, no, it was with Tattoo, the plane. It was a very plain meeting. No, but I had a really cool. Let me just leave it at that. But let's say FanDuel TV, I had a really good meeting with someone in regards to something similar yesterday.
Okay, cool.
That's all. We'll leave it at that for now. But all right, so I got it here, so I can watch it. We can't stream it, but I could. We could call the race as it's happening.
I used to
Right
do
here.
some PA announcing in my time. I could try to call the race.
Let me see. I do have. Yeah, I do. I have you. The last time you called the race. Where the heck is it? Hold on. I actually have footage here of that. This might be it here. This is when you were in Jamaica, I believe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're rolling more now. When you just leaned, when you go backwards like that, you don't roll.
Hmm.
At that click, I'm calling it a roll, but it's like a rolling click. It's like an earthquake. It's a rolling click. It's kind of whack. I think we have to. I hate to say it, and I don't mean to be insulting, but I think we need to ditch some piece of equipment that you're rocking out there and replace it with a better, newer piece of equipment. Maybe it's probably just got some miles on it because you're the broadcasting king, and the Joe Quill Show is coming to the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. I know we've been saying this, but we're making sure everything is right. So just stay tuned. Watch our socials, except our Instagram, until Monday. Then you can start watching it again. Actually, keep watching it. We got a lot of great videos up there right now. Some stuff that's getting a lot of views and traction and comments and funny stuff. But anyway, Joe Quill Show is coming, and he's going to be our 9 to 11 guy. I mean, he's going to be the anchor of the lineup pretty much daily. So coming extremely soon. So let's just leave it at that right now.
Yeah. I'm going to be the old National League pitcher batting ninth.
Exactly. You're going to be like Goose Gossage coming and throwing heat.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of Cole Hamels or Cliff Lee. You know, not for the pitching part, but the occasional base hits and occasional home runs.
I was thinking like Ricky Vaughn, maybe. You remind me more of Ricky Vaughn, Wild Thing. Oh,
Well, the ladies call me Vile Thing.
Vile Thing. Yes, that's what cousin Eddie is sitting out there from the vacation movies in the outfit. Wasn't that cousin Eddie? Cousin Eddie was in that movie, the
Yeah,
Major League
yeah.
movies. Yeah,
Before he went nuts.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, all
yeah.
right. So we're locked in. And who did you lock in here?
I locked in the 4.
The 4. All right. So you got the 4. I got this is on a little tiny screen. Let me see if I can blow this sucker up somehow here. Oh, I can. Boom. Look at this. Oh man, this is high
Yeah.
tech stuff we got going on here. If you could see my setup, soon. But anyway, the favorite is the 1, 6-5. Who do I have? The 2?
Yep.
Yeah, he's 34-1. You get the 4. He's 4-1. 6 is 7-2. The 7 and the 10. No, the 7 and the 9 are locks not to win this race. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And wide open handicapping at Monmouth Park today because Joe Bravo's not there. He's down in Pimlico because he's racing in the Preakness today.
Yeah. And he's riding in the Preakness.
Yeah, he is. He's on the 1 horse in the Preakness today. But you want to? So what do you want to do? You want to flip over and start talking Preakness, or as they're not in the post yet? Where the hell's Newberry?
Newberry?
Yeah. I'm looking at it. It's a split screen here. Pimlico, race 1, and then 5 minutes to post in Newberry. But Newberry, is that a European track? Does FanDuel TV show you European stuff?
Yes. That's
All
in
right.
the UK.
All right, yeah, because it looked like a track that is not a U.S. track.
Yeah. And they'll probably be running the wrong way, too.
Yes, well, he was, but it's pre-race, so I don't. So the pick 5, the total pool currently is 447,679.
Yeah, I'm a little ahead of you.
Oh, all right. Well, don't spoil it on me then, buddy. I don't know why I'm on a delay here.
I just think it's the FanDuel platform. It's not nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, for example, when I'm watching the Phillies games,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sitting here. I got the phone sitting next to me. My alerts are going off, and the play hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, YouTube TV is really bad for they run a good minute behind if you're watching YouTube TV, which is what we have here in the studio.
Well, I still have my cable box,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an HD box.
Mm-hmm.
And going from regular antenna to, well, even though it's on just on cable, going to cable and then going to HD, it makes it go even slower to your TV set.
Okay. See that? You learn things on this show also, besides which horses not to pick.
And streaming on top of that is even worse, as you're noticing, because I'm a little ahead of you right now. But I'm watching this race from the Twin Spires webpage.
Okay. Well, I am watching it on FanDuel TV. So, and this track looks tore up here very early in the morning. It looks like a very, very, very. Now, a muddy track is more conducive to the closers, correct, as opposed to the speed horses?
It depends, because you may get a mutter who likes to be off the pace and can dig in and fly home. Or, like, for example, some tracks like Parks, it just seems like it speeds up and goes to front speed.
Okay.
Now, yesterday, I watched the dirt races at Pimlico when I was prepping the article, which will drop right around 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be on the lead or not far from the lead, because if you were way too far back, you were not closing into the leaders at all.
I had always heard that a sloppy track equates to a fast track, and a muddy track equates to a track that you need to be a closer. Because if you're a speed horse, it's too deep, and you're just going to run out of gas really quick trying to fly through that sucker. They're loading the horses on my delay right now. The 5 just went in.
Yeah, the 2 and the 6, I think, went in on mine.
Oh, Man, so this Preakness, this mud's real. I had it all figured out before the mud and before the rain. Here's what I'm going to tell you, Mystic Dan, in my opinion, not
Mhm.
going to win today.
I mean, no matter what the track surface is, I'm tossing him because when I watch that race over and over again, because I think I rewatched that race about 15 times to do that article 2 weeks ago.
You don't keep betting on it every time, do you? Because you know he's not going to win. If he loses once, he's not going to win on the replays.
I,
You know that,
I
right?
keep, I keep betting Sierra Leone.
Okay. Which is,
I,
I probably would too also. All right. So
uh,
I'm watching this race. So are you, but let's, I don't want to, I don't want to destroy it for myself or anybody else, but I can see that my two is, currently
yeah,
he's not where he, well, maybe he is where he wants to be.
I'm
I don't know.
midway
He's
around
on
the
the
trail.
rail
Yeah,
and he looks good right now.
I think you're
Wait a
looking at the
minute.
four.
Yeah, I
You're
am
looking
looking
at
at
the
the
four.
four. Yeah, I am looking at the four. All right, hold on here.
Okay, and then they're in the stretch here.
What is this? 6 furlongs? I didn't
5.
even look at the five. All right.
And my horse is dying. The one Irish Heartbeat that I threw out because he hadn't run on the dirt.
Oh, look at this two coming. He's going to be coming too little, too late, I think. But he's freaking flying at the end. 182.
Mm-hmm.
I was closer than you. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
All right.
and I'm not sure. I think with this race there wasn't enough horses to get a your money back on your wager up to $10 on Twin Spires on all races for today at Pimlico, but you got to opt in.
Mm.
Um, if your horse finishes second or third, you get your money back on that up to $10 if your horse finishes second or third. But with 7 horses in the race, I think it's just for if your horse finishes second. So the one thing I'll say is whenever you, especially anybody who's using a new advanced deposit wagering platform, the one thing I will say is, especially if you're newer to their particular platform, check all the terms and conditions because sometimes one provider may be different from another in terms of money back promotions or other promotions that they may have.
All right, well, we got to get to this Preakness, buddy, because it's already
Yeah,
10:36. So
that's okay.
I'm all right. So I'm betting my no sweat $20 bet right now here on the Preakness. So let me just get this in. I'll tell you, this is not the horse that I am picking to win, but this is the horse that I am putting on my no sweat bet. So $20. Boom, done. All right. All right. So you want to kick this off?
Sure. Let's go with your boy Joe Bravo riding on Mugatu.
Mm-hmm.
And he finished fifth in the Bluegrass at 180 to 1. Yeah, it was an okay race. He made a middle move there and kind of hung a little bit, which basically means he wasn't falling back. He wasn't going forward, at least to me. Um, he was and also eligible for the Derby, but didn't draw in. So they said, all right, well, we can't get into the Derby. Go to the Pimlico. Let's go to Pimlico. And he's running today. Joe Bravo rides. I don't see anything with him. I mean, I see maybe a middle move again, but with the way that the track appears to be playing, and the one thing I will say is watch the dirt races today early on. It just looks like Magato has no chance today.
Now let me point out one thing about Mugatu. He's won once in 12 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Who was his jockey the only time he won?
I will tell you in a second because I will pull up the 13th race here.
I'll tell you who it was. It was Jersey Joe Bravo. Was the only jockey who led him to victory. Way back November 18th. But yeah, I tossed that. I looked for a reason because I know Joe, and I looked for a reason to like this horse, but there were none.
No. Yeah, I mean I liked the move, but it just seemed like the move was made too soon. He might be better at going like 7 furlongs or a mile, but mile and 3/16, no way.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just shown absolutely nothing
Hmm.
um, since winning that race. So
Yeah,
and you know, I like horses in races like this. I like horses that have raced less, not
yeah,
have 12 races under their belt. So,
yeah. Well, next is a horse that does not have those 12 races. He only has five, and
mm-hmm,
that is the Philly local horse Uncle Heavy. Not Uncle Ernie, because
mm-hmm.
he's 6 years old, but this is Uncle Heavy.
Not Heavy D and the boys.
No,
Okay.
nope. But Butch Reed is the trainer. Um, he goes from his normal jockey Michael Sanchez and he goes to Irad Ortiz, which I think is a plus here. Now,
When you go right, you click more.
okay, so
Anytime you go right, I've noticed that. Okay.
so when I look at this, he did win the Withers, which is on the mud going a mile and an eighth.
You did. Mm-hmm.
Now that Wood Memorial race is a complete and utter toss, and I'll tell you why. There was an equine or herpes outbreak in Belmont, which is right like less than 5 miles away from Aqueduct. And Parks, where the horse is based out of, and the trainer, Butch Reed, they could not bring him home for a couple of weeks because they locked down the backside of the track and made sure that the virus, which is a neurological disorder, doesn't spread onto their backstretch. So he got stuck at a farm in New York for a couple of weeks, and the whole training was all messed up. And also he had a very wide post. And and if you watch this video, you're not going to see the whole race because they had to edit it out because the horse that was next to him, Deterministic, who's running on the undercard, fell in the race. And he was stuck between another horse and Uncle Heavy. And I think that played a part in Uncle Heavy, even though he wasn't going to win anyway. But there's all kinds of excuses here,
Mm-hmm.
and my heart says play this horse to win,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to. I just think that he may be a step behind these horses right now. I mean, his highest numbers in 84 in the Withers, and he may be a nice PA bred horse that destroys competition in the PA bred races at Parks, but I really don't see it, at least not today. But the mud does improve his chances here today.
I took my no sweat bet and put it on Uncle Heavy. Um, I I like that he's 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I also like his pattern of win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. So if he stays on form, today's his up day. Today's a win day. I like
Mm-hmm.
I like him on an off track. Um, That's actually not a win lose win lose win lose because he's got 1 2 in a row there where he won and they were both on off tracks. Um, yeah, I used him on my no sweat bet. I'm gonna throw him in some exactas and trifectas, but uh, he's not my top pick today.
Yeah, he's not my top pick today either. But yeah, when the article drops at 11 o'clock, I mean, Uncle Heavy got the biggest paragraph. So just to let you guys know when that drops in a little bit. The three Catching Freedom
Hmm.
got bumped around a little bit at the start. Didn't really like his positioning, but then again, what horse really liked its positioning except for maybe Mystic Dan and maybe the first 3 4 horses that were dueling for the lead. He closed well, finished fourth. And I noted if this race was any longer than a mile and a quarter, he would have been right on the heels of Mystic Dan because there was nowhere for him to go if the race was longer because you had the 2 horses on the outside closing. You had Mystic Dan starting to come back to the pack. I think that this horse And this is why I will tell you guys who are watching right now, watch the dirt races at Pimlico today. If you do see horses coming from off the pace, this is your winner. But even when we watched the first race together, same crap as yesterday. And I don't say crap because whatever, but I just don't want to use the S word.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Basically, SSDD, same stuff, different day. And it just seems like you may be looking at front running speed here, and he's not a front runner. He's going to drop back. I think he's going to be top three. I just don't see him winning.
Now look at his pattern here: win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. He's up. He's up. Now, if if history continues to repeat itself with his patterns here, he should win. I actually, again, the mud kind of throws everything off here. But I had him moving forward. I had him with a huge. I had him breaking 100 today on a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
He's raced once. It looks like on an off track, and
Yeah.
he still ran a good number.
And he could have won that race, but he got squeezed at the finish. He had
Mm-hmm.
Track Phantom on the inside. He had Sierra Leone on the outside.
Yeah. He's definitely in my exactas to win this thing.
Yeah.
And I truthfully, I wouldn't be surprised if he is the winner.
Yeah. And I have him in my superfecta here. I just don't have him to win.
Okay.
Muth, scratched.
Yep.
And one thing I will say is Twitter can be a rough place. And I was alerted to this, but I didn't really look at this. My friend Chris Garrity, who I went to high school with, he's a big horse racing guy. And maybe we get him on the show one day. Of course, because it's a Baffert horse, everybody started saying stuff about Baffert, which we will not get into because we don't want to get into trouble. But considering it's Twitter, imagine all the bad things and think about some of the things that Baffert has done over the last couple of years. You use your imagination. It was said on Wednesday morning. So just use your imagination. We're not going to say it. We're not going to get ourselves into trouble. And there's the white-haired guy. So say what you want. We're going to steer clear of that because we want to continue to not be the totally broken sports network.
Exactly.
5, Mystic Dan, going for the Triple Crown, second leg. He won the Derby. Had the same trip as in the Southwest where he was right along the rail and then took off when they turned for home. I could see that happening again today, but when I was watching that race over and over and over again so I can make sure I get all the major points on that article 2 weeks ago, I do not see him winning because he was struggling at the end of the race. Maybe I'm just thinking that he was struggling because you had two horses flying on the outside who were beating the crap out of each other down the stretch as well. I just don't see him winning. And you could go good race, bad race. I know that's what you're going to think here, but
well, this would be a bad race he's due for then if we do go that way. But
I think he's going to bounce here.
So do I.
Yeah. So AJ and I are on record that when they go to Saratoga in 3 weeks, not Belmont, Saratoga, he will not be running for the Triple Crown. So he may not even run in the Belmont.
Which means the only reason to watch the Belmont then in 3 weeks is because it's at Saratoga this year.
Yeah, which is at a shortened distance of a mile and a quarter. I mean, I think they should have gone mile and 3/8, but that's just me. But the 6 Sees the Gray, D. Wayne Lucas horse. So that means D. Wayne's going to bring him back in 2 weeks. He won the Pat Day Mile, and I'm gonna throw a trivia question here. I know you're not going to know this, but do you know what this race used to be called?
What, the Preakness or the Pat Day Mile?
The Pat Day Mile.
No, I don't know.
It used to be called the Derby Trial.
Hmm.
and it used to run the opening day of the Churchill Downs spring meet, and it was usually a lot of times a last chance race for horses to run, and sometimes a horse would wheel back 1 week later. But they changed the name, they moved it to Derby Day, and he was near the front down the back stretch, dropped back a little bit on the turn, came back, won at 9-1 odds. I had him that day, and I'm not sure he can get the mile and 3/16 in terms of talent, but in terms of the pedigree, Arrogate, he is one of the top sires when it comes to distance. And when you look at some of the different things that you see when you look at DRF, especially when you look at the free races,
Mm-hmm.
Arrogate's winners win on average at 7.8 furlongs. So these horses win going a mile and an eighth, mile and a quarter. So these horses do get the distance. I just don't know if he has the talent to do it.
So, couple things. I just the reason that they changed the name to the Pat Day Mile trivia question. Do you know what it is, and not the Derby Trial anymore?
Tiger
Trump has trademarked the word trial so that when he wins this nonsense that's going on and all of these nonsensical trials that he's in, there'll be the Trump trial towers in every city coming soon. So no one's allowed to use the word trial anymore. Donald has it under lock and key.
Give yourself a rim shot there.
Yeah, I don't. There wasn't really. I don't know. Look, nothing blew my skirt up with
Yeah.
Seize the Gray.
Yeah.
And this, this Lucas, and I know everything that you just talked about with the pedigree. I don't know. I don't see it with him.
Yeah.
So I moved on. I looked at everyone thoroughly. I just I didn't see the need to continue to look at him.
Yeah. And we move on to Just Steal the 7. I'm tossing him. He has that good race, bad race pattern over the last 4, but it just seemed like he went for the lead. Too many horses going for the lead. He wasn't there at the end. I think he's an automatic toss. I just don't think he's good enough here.
But who's going to go for the lead here? That's the thing. There's not a lot of horses that are going to be fighting for the front here.
Oh, it's still coming up.
Okay.
Tuscan Gold,
Mm-hmm.
he may go for the lead, but I don't think he gets the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the Wise Guy horse right now. And I'm looking at the DRF, and they have it right now as he's 7-2 right now.
Yep.
He kept running and running, but I just don't see it here. I think that sometimes the Wise Guy horse wins, but I'm steering clear of the Wise Guy horse here. He's in my superfecta, but I don't like him winning.
I'm gonna play him in some boxes, but again, he's not my top guy.
Okay. And through the process of elimination.
Oh, now before you get to this, I got breaking news that just came across here. Bob Baffert and the 9 horse Imagination have been detained this morning by track police in Pimlico. There was some sort of a police presence and a roadblock that Baffert, who was pulling the horse in a trailer, decided not to stop, dragged a couple of security guards. They are both... Imagination is at the local ASPCA right now, and Baffert is in the county lockup. But F.U. Bailey will have them both there by 7 p.m. tonight to run this race. So I don't know if there's any, again, patterns. I look for patterns. Something like this similar happened recently.
Yeah.
Somewhere else, but maybe.
Yeah, and I think Tiger Woods will have something to say because he is free today.
I mean, Chef Tom was supposed to be on the show this morning. He had picks, but he decided to pull a Scotty and go get himself locked up this morning, thinking that it would help him pick the winners. And then he called me from the Palm Beach County Jail, and I hung up because that's
Oh, I thought
just how. Yeah, that's it. I
I,
don't really have time to bail him out this morning.
I thought he got tied up at Orchids of Asia.
Uh, who hasn't been tied up at Orchids of Asia?
Not me, because I'm not in Florida. But that leaves us with the pick here, which process of elimination. And ironically, I'm wearing the same colored shirt as the saddlecloth of imagination today, and it was just strictly coincidence day.
Yeah.
But he's a go for the lead type, and California speed is different from speed on the track in the United States, and I'm sure that the speed, the drug, is different in California than the rest of the United States. But just missed in the Santa Anita Derby. Didn't have the points to get to the Derby. Well, actually, he had 0 points because it's a Baffert horse. He couldn't get into the Derby, and this would have been the other Baffert horse. And sometimes you play the other horse when it comes to multiple trainers if you like a horse. I think he goes for the lead, and I have visions of National Treasure last year going gate to wire, winning the Preakness.
Okay. I I like the 9. I have imagination as my top horse. Again, this was pre-mud and pre-slop. I'm really looking harder at catching Freedom now. I'm also putting more stock into Uncle Heavy than you are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the 9. I kind of like Tuscan Gold. I just see the horse constantly moving forward. If he moves forward today at the same sort of level or pattern that he's moved forward previously, he wins. Again, he's never been on a crappy track before, so we don't know. There's so many. This is supposed to be easier because there's not 27 horses in this race, and it was when I looked at it. It was quite easy, and I had loved Imagination.
Yeah.
But now with this weather, and it could be they just flashed the weather report up on my screen here a couple of minutes ago, and it could be raining according to the latest. It could be raining right around race time.
Yeah.
But the weathermen are never right, so don't have them handicap your race. I think here's my move. I'm gonna wheel the 9 up and down. But when I wheel him up and down, I will wheel him with an all. But then I will eliminate the 1. I will eliminate Mystic Dan, and I will eliminate Seize the Gray,
Mm-hmm.
and then wheel him with whatever's left there, which would be 3,
2, 3,
7,
8.
yeah, 2, 3, 7, 8. If I'm going to give that an exacta box right now, I'm going to give you a 2-9, 9-2-2-9.
Yeah, and my superfecta, which will be on the article, which may have dropped already because I think you said 1055, but
I believe
I'm-
so.
I'm going with a 2389 box. I'm playing it for 50 cents because you can play 10-cent increments at Pimlico for superfectas. I'm going to be playing it for 50 cents. My buddy and I, we're going to have 2 50-cent tickets, one for him, one for me, and hopefully we cash like we did last year's Preakness, even though it only paid like $12.
Well, I'm looking to make money here. So if I can get a 9-2 or 2-9, if I can catch, I mean, this Lucas horse is 9-1 right now.
Yeah.
We
And there's
throw
only
him.
$2 million in the pool right now, and they'll probably get about, and that's probably about 5% of what they're going to wager on the race, if that. I mean, there's going to be a ton more money coming just on this race.
Yeah, but all the money is going to go to Mystic Dan. I mean, it is because that's
As
how
long
this
as,
works. Because today, the real track players are outnumbered.
Mhm.
You know, by the people who show up once a year, and the people who show up once a year are going to throw all of their money on Mystic Dan.
Yeah, and I will gladly take their money if my horse wins.
All right, so let me lock you down right here. What are you doing? Give me your winner.
I got the 9 Imagination Gate to Wire,
All right.
and I got 2389 box for the superfecta.
Okay. 389. All right. You know what? We're kind of on the same page, dude. We're kind of
That's
on the
scary.
same page. Yeah,
That's scary.
we are. I love the 9 also. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes wire to wire. But I don't know. Uncle Heavy's leaning on me.
But keep an eye on the races on the dirt, because if they're running on the front end and they're winning just like they were yesterday, Imagination is a lock.
Here's the problem. You're gonna have to text me, Joe, because after the show, I gotta take a nap. I gotta watch the heavyweight championship fight. I gotta brush the dogs. I gotta pack for my field trip. All sorts of stuff here. Whoa! I got breaking news.
Uh-oh.
I got breaking news. More combat sports news. We're gonna run a minute or two over. That's all right. Our friend Chase Brooks
Mm-hmm.
is making his professional debut. He hasn't even fought his last amateur fight yet. That's coming up in about a week. But 8/23 in Orlando, Florida, Chase Brooks is making his professional debut. And now I don't know if it's you got it. Are you do you have to rush out of here, Joe?
No,
Let me
no.
just I'm texting him back, but you know that's what we hey, people in high places, man.
Yeah.
We're tipping this. Nobody else is tipping this. And I'm trying to find out what it is. If it's K1, if it's Muay Thai, if it's
Yeah.
UFC, it might be WW Muay Thai, professional Muay Thai. If he's picking the sport with the least amount of money. But that's all right, man. It's what he's good at. It's his passion. And watch, he's gonna come elbows, knees to the head, blood. He's texting me. I said, Muay Thai. He says, yeah, elbows, knees to the head, and then a drop of an emoji. I didn't even know there was an emoji drop of blood or a drop of blood emoji, but
But that may translate well for the UFC if that's his end goal.
yeah, it could. It could. So they're breaking news. Are we let me find out if we're still on for are we still on for Syracuse? SYRA Syracuse fight. Yeah. So he's let's see. Gonna tear someone up and show my versatility and how brutal I can be when the rules don't protect the opponent. Gotta get everyone out. All right, killer.
Sounds like Scotty Scheffler yesterday morning.
It does sound like Scotty Scheffler yesterday morning. All right, cool. Yeah, so Chase Brooks making his pro debut, and I can go on record to say at 8/23, we will be there for his pro debut in
And
Orlando.
if I'm off that weekend, maybe I make an appearance.
That would be killer. That would be killer. So that's awesome. So
I'll have to check my work schedule.
Chase Brooks breaking fighting news right there. And if you don't follow, if you have no idea what the hell Muay Thai is, what rock have you been living under? Muay Thai is anything goes. Anything
Yeah.
goes. It's literally WWE. Nice. All right. Yeah, we got to promote this sucker because
Yeah.
he's still sending me, but he's getting I don't know if this is not called back end here, but percentage of ticket sales. Yeah, we got to fill this place up. So,
Okay. And maybe I fill up a couple of seats with my fat rear end.
yeah, I mean, between you and Chef Tom, you guys could definitely fill up a section, right? And then if we
Yeah.
get,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's Chef Tom,
Yeah.
definitely.
And should we talk about my field trip coming up?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about next week's show, and let's do all of our P's and Q's here right now while we're in overtime.
And just to let you guys know, there is going to be no show next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. How is it Memorial Day weekend already? But I will be on a plane Saturday morning early, 7 o'clock, for a direct flight from Philly to Seattle. I got friends out there, going to see them for the first time in 5 years since before the pandemic. And who knows? Maybe we'll get some content maybe Sunday from Emerald Downs.
Will you be looking up or contacting Captain Ron while you're out there? Because that's Captain Ron currently. He's sanctuaried up in that Seattle area somewhere there, or Portland.
I thought he was in St. Louis.
No, Ron is all over the place. Ron can call like 37,000 different places home, but he's currently in the Northwest.
I didn't know.
Yeah. No, he is. When I met Ron initially, he was in Denver.
Yeah.
And Ron and I, believe it or not, this is painful. You want painful. You have to go back. I'm not even going to tell people where to find them. I'm going to make you work. But we were a major sponsor for something called Ring of Fire, which was an MMA, one of the many MMA sort of promotional companies out there. And there was this dude, Cameron Dollar. He was like the first reality star of MMA. There was something on MTV with him. So we had hooked up with him, kind of like we are with Chase Brooks now, except Chase Brooks has way more of a future than Cameron did. But anyway, Captain Ron and I, this is how, and this place was packed. It was in an arena in Denver. I don't remember exactly when. I think I had drank a lot while we were out there back then. But it was in a big arena. It was jam-packed. And somehow me and Captain Ron did the play-by-play and color commentary. And this is out on YouTube. You can find these. I knew nothing about MMA. I knew just as much then as I know now about MMA. But Ron was dynamite at it because Ron doesn't shut the hell up ever. And he was really, really, really good at it. So you would hear Ron doing his thing, and I would just be, come in with something stupid and sound like a complete moron, sort of like I do on this show and on the Bleacher Brothers show and every other show that I'm on. But that's my style, and I'm sticking with it.
We're all morons here on the Bleacher Brothers.
We are. We have to work that into our tagline somewhere. We're kind of like we're like the 93 Phillies or the Red Sox that came back and beat the Yankees, the idiots.
Yeah.
That's us. So no show next week. Joe will be traveling. I'll be traveling all week this week. What the schedule is, it's kind of just stay tuned to your local listings. But I know on Wednesday night this week from 6 to 8, Toby Schulman, who, in my opinion, does the best job out of any of us at this point. This dude was just born to broadcast, I believe, and smart as a whip. And yesterday, this kid put out a 3-prop parlay bet on Livy Dunn's boyfriend there in Pittsburgh. Bam, bam, bam. The guy was throwing a no-hitter through 6. They had to take him out because he had 100 pitches. He struck out like 39 batters in 6 innings.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. They clocked him at 179 miles an hour on a curveball yesterday, this guy. He's nuts. He's nuts.
Kind of like that guy who threw the ultimate perfect game in the movies, 81 pitches, 81 strikes.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Ted Nebraska or something.
Yeah, what is that from? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I can't remember the movie, but it was You can tell my brain's fried already. It's only 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's a long day, man. It's a long day ahead of us. And hold on, while we're here, let's do this real fast. Let me pull up, and I will handicap this thing quickly, and I will give you the winner. I will give, because I feel like it's going to be that day today. I feel like we're hitting the Preakness. I feel like we are hitting some baseball stuff today, but I'm going to give you a Thunder's Maverick right now. So currently, Dallas leads the series 3-2, and they are hosting the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. Give me 30 seconds here, and let me just take a look at what I got to look at. So it's 106, and so let's go. So Dallas, and then 8 minus 1 is 7. So, man,
Divide by 0.
yeah. So currently, I'm looking at this at minus 3.5 for Dallas at home.
Mm-hmm.
If I go with just stats, OKC wins this game by a bucket. But I'm going to tell you, here's the thing. Here's what a lot of people may not know. In closeout games, Kyrie Irving is 13-0.
Wow.
Jordan wasn't 13-0. LeBron wasn't 13-0. Matt, no one's ever been 13-0. Based on just the season that Kyrie and what he's been able to do and kind of transform his whole rep, everything.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to give you Dallas tonight. Take Dallas, lay the points. If you can get it for 4 or less, take Dallas tonight. Dallas is going to close out OKC tonight. That's your bleacher bet, and I'll throw it up on any social media accounts that we're not suspended on.
And
Currently.
for those listening and watching, I do apologize. I was watching the second race of Pimlico right here. I had the 5 St. John's on the turf. They kept the second race on the turf because the route races don't chew the track up like sprint races do.
Mm-hmm.
But my horse took the lead in deep stretch. And out of the clouds comes a 38-1 shot to Desvio.
You got him? You
No,
bet it?
I had the 5.
Oh,
I get my money back, so.
All right. And look, stay tuned to BleacherBrothers.com. Stay tuned. So, what are we? We're up in Gainesville today. The FAU softball Lady Owls are in the tournament for the College Softball World Series. They lost a 1-0 game yesterday. Final play was a play at the plate where they were trying to, and I mean, it was razor tight. They went to a replay, but it went against them. So they got to win today, or else they're out. So that's this afternoon. You got Fury Usyk this afternoon, heavyweight championship fight. You got the Preakness tonight at 7:00. Pretty soon, the Preakness and the Derby and the Belmont, these are going to be like watching one of these pay-per-view boxing matches. It's going to be 11 p.m. These things used to run at like 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Now they just keep pushing them back. But it's going to roll straight into Dallas and OKC tonight. And man, this is a great sports time right now. And if you have not checked in on the NHL and you're not a hockey person, this is, in my opinion, and it's been echoed by other people, this is the greatest postseason in hockey action that any of us have seen in decades. I mean, it's phenomenal. Now you got a monster series coming up with the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers, because the Panthers are on a mission to win this thing because they got so close last year. But the Rangers are, the Rangers have been getting it done all year long, and it looked like the Rangers could have been toast just 2 days ago. I mean, gosh, I'm texting with Luch at one moment, and he was on his roof getting ready to jump. I mean, he lives in a ranch house, so he wasn't going to pull off what he was wanting to do. And then Kreider gets a friggin' third period hat trick, and then Luch was dancing naked in the streets, and he ended up. I had to bail him out that night too, but a lot of bailing out going on around here.
Yeah. And hopefully I won't have to call you to bail me out of Delaware County Prison tonight.
No. Don't do that. You and Captain Ron, though, maybe you guys could get into some trouble together for sure. So,
Me and my buddy Blake, we may get ourselves into trouble.
And Captain Ron is going to be his show be debuting soon. And you got Listella Report, and you got Toby's also eligible. But on Wednesday night, anyway, Toby's sitting in. He's hosting the Bleacher Brothers show, and it will have Chef Tom's golf segment. It'll have Luch on Ice. It may even have Quills Picks winners for a Preakness recap on there also. So just stay tuned. We got huge things coming up.
I'll do a Preakness recap, but it won't be until later on because I'll be out since I couldn't go out for the Derby because I was working, but I'm off today. So,
gotcha. All right, so we're done, right? We got it. We're locked in. All right, so we'll be back in 2 weeks at 10 a.m. And everybody enjoy the Preakness. Enjoy the basketball, enjoy the fights, enjoy everything that it is that you enjoy, and go cash some winning tickets today. Yes? Did I cover all the bases?
Yes, you did.
All right, cool. Then, Joe, best of luck in the winner's circle, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week, 2 weeks, everybody.
Yes, sir.